Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so anyways, we had Doc Custer, or my dad had Doc Custer take the pictures, all the action pictures of the 44 football team. I think that was the year. And they were just a phenomenal team. And again, as I said, my dad would feed them every Saturday evening. And he, gifted them with hot dogs and burgers and whatever they wanted. And when I was probably 7 years old, I started going to all the football games with them. And my mother had a beauty shop upstairs.
Oh.
And one time, she asked my dad to go and get a degree, cosmetology degree, so he could help her there. After they sold to Rockney, and ladies would come in, and he'd wash the hair.
So he did do that? He did get his cosmetology degree? But he did get his degree?
Maybe he did go get it. All he did was wash hair.
Oh,
And ladies would come in and they'd go, Frank, I tell Josephine I want to look like this. So they'd show pictures of a movie star, and my dad would go, with that nose? Are you kidding?
He'll never look like it.
He had a way to... but it was great. It was great.
How long did they have the Rockney Grill?
I think he sold it, I think after my grandmother died, after his mom died.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on to do some other things. They bought the big brick building then up at 2400. And going in there and seeing all the... Nettie and I walked in there one day, and there was a lot of covers on many things. And I took a cover off of one. It was an enormous hoot owl.
Oh, you're kidding.
They were big hunters. The Gahagans or Gathagans were big hunters. They were in coal, and my dad did buy the property, and all the football players helped him steam all the wallpaper off because everything was plastered. Yeah,
that was the bread house across from the high school.
Yeah, the red brick. Yeah,
that's a cool house. So, do you remember? Did you like school when you were little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to walk in April on snow drifts to school because we had so much snow, and I wasn't the greatest student. I could have been the greatest student, but I was average. Were like Grandma and Grandpa much into education in school, or just kind of like something you did? And No. I mean, they wanted me to be prepared, and I kind of got into music the funny one, Lord, when they sold to Rockney, and we lived across the street there. I got a new coat for winter. It was like a Mackinaw. How do I describe that? Like different colors of plaid. And I went across the street with the Costa boys, and a kid comes out with his bugle. And I said, "Where'd you get that?" He says, "My dad brought it home." And took the bugle. Never touched a horn in my life. And I started playing. And the dad come running out. He said, "Who did that?" And they said, "He did." So the kid says, I said, "Well, I'd like to have that." So I traded my brand new Mackinaw for the bugle.
Oh, your coat for the bugle?
I come across the street freezing with this bugle.
Oh my
God! And my dad says, "Where's your coat?" I said, "I traded it for this Mackinaw." No, for this bugle. And
what do you say to that?
March your butt across the street and get that GD coat. So I did.
So you lost your bugle.
Yeah. But another thing, at the house, they had a stuffed doe, a deer, okay? And it was on a roller, a big platform. So we brought it down, and I had it between Dr. Weaver's and the Rockney, and I'd be bringing it out, and then I'd be pulling it back. Bringing it out so people could see it, and cars were stopping, guys were grabbing their rifles, and we had a lot of fun with that deer.
So were Grandma and Grandpa into music when you were little? Because like they always
my
were
God,
when we
yeah,
were
my mother
older.
used to sing opera when
No
she was
way.
young. Oh yeah, she had a beautiful voice.
I remember playing the piano, but I don't remember
Yeah.
singing. Then
And my dad, and my Uncle Danny, they played guitar.
guitar, I remember that, and the
Dad
banjo.
had a nice voice. He had a real nice voice.
I remember
My
Grandpa
mother
playing the
had
banjo.
a phenomenal voice.
I
Yeah.
don't ever remember her singing.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
When they were going together, she used to, because of, all the music in the Savarino family, with Louis and Ange and all the boys played. The twins had their orchestra.
Were the Consolos musical at all? Or more the Savarinos?
Uncle Danny was probably the most musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that mostly the things, like what did you guys do for fun besides music? That was your main thing? Or?
Well, we used
and
to,
football?
every Sunday, my dad worked every day, so every Sunday we would take off and go over to Bedford, to like Idlewild Park or Shawnee, and we would picnic, and my dad had a gas grill, and we'd make burgers and hot dogs, and sometimes they would cook and bring cutlets and, veal cutlets and chicken cutlets or bread to pork chops. We always had very nice picnics.
And were they big into swimming too, like you were, like we did when we were little?
Yeah. Nettie and I used to go, like, over to Shawnee, and then we started going to Collegiate Park, and we took you kids over there.
Yeah, we went there all the time.
That was fun. I really enjoyed Collegiate.
Did you bring friends with you when you did that? Or?
Oh yeah. Like hell, even the Karkowskis, when they were in Winburg, and they had their kids.
Oh yeah, that's when we were older though.
We'd take the.
I meant when you were little. Like, did you bring friends from school and stuff?
I always had a buddy.
Yeah.
As they were taking, Nettie was able to bring one of her
girlfriends.
friends. Yeah.
Did you have to do a lot of chores around the house?
No. This is funny.
Just
twice
like
a
us.
twice a week I'd ride a coal truck. And when I was probably 12, 13, I'd ride a coal truck with one of the Miller boys. And we'd go up to past 42, where the miners lived in tents, and we would get the coal, we'd bring him, and the dad would dump it, and then his son and I would shovel the coal into these people's, into their coal bin. My dad said, why don't you do that for me? And I says, I get paid over there. Oh, yeah.
So you never had to do chores around the house when you were a kid?
No.
Or at the Rockney? They didn't make you do any?
No, I don't remember.
You just ate the ice cream?
Just give me ice cream. I was a good kid.
What about, if you ever got in trouble, who was a disciplinarian with Grandma and Grandpa? Yeah.
My dad, yeah. My mother, she stuck up. One time, my buddy and I took 3 packs of cigarettes, and where the highway is now, we used to go across, where Baumgartner Heights is? That was nothing but woods. And we used to go up there, and there was a little creek. We'd go over the creek, and just light up a cigarette and throw it, lighting up a cigarette and throw it. We come back, I was green.
Oh, that's
And my dad said, where were you? And I said, my friend and I were, skipping rocks on the creek. And he says, you smell a lot like cigarettes. And I said, yeah, my friend had cigarettes. And he said, well, I think I'm missing about 3 pack.
Whoa, he smoked back then?
Oh, my dad smoked,
yeah. I remember him smoking when I was a girl.
He smoked a pipe.
Yeah.
He was young, very good looking. Very, very, he looked like a movie star.
Yeah.
Picture taken with a pipe, And really, both of them were gorgeous.
I don't know if I have any pictures of them when they were young. Mostly older.
I have to see, because Nettie took so many pictures, and we never got a lot of those back.
Does Nick still have them, you think?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think he has anything in Nettie's.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I think one of the girls has pictures.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Renee or Sherry. That's probably true.
Yeah.
So what else did you do to get in trouble? Besides smoke cigarettes and steal deer?
I doing nothing, I got in trouble.
Like, what do you mean?
I joined a 7th grade band, Mr. Graybeck, and I was playing. Well, the funny one, when I was little, and the band and the football players, well, the band would always stop after the games, and they'd come into the Rockney.
Oh,
And, one time, this guy had this cornet, and his name was Pete Stotler. And he and I got to be good friends.
Was that Laurie Stotler's dad?
No. His name was Laurie's dad was
Glenn.
Peeny.
Oh,
Yeah,
Peeny.
yeah.
Peeny, that's right.
So he said, Frank, he says, look at my new cornet. And I picked it up. Laurie, I just started playing it. I started playing, I'm trying to think what the song was. Oh, it was a Glenn Miller tune. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da. I started playing.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. And half the band come over and said, who was that?
Ugh,
And my
That's not
dad
funny.
ended up getting me that cornet from Pete.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, Grandpa was a disciplinarian. Who would you go to? Would you go to Grandma then when you were in trouble, or if you were upset about stuff, or was she more the nurturing one?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But my dad was phenomenal.
He was that way too.
Yeah,
You could go to him.
Never did I ever I was never disciplined.
Yeah.
I never had a crack. Never did I get a slap.
So what happened when you got in trouble?
I had to stay in for a couple of days.
Yeah, you get grounded.
Yeah.
Told you to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what, I'm thinking of way back there. I mean, what the hell could you do back in
Yeah,
those
that's
days?
true. Were they very strict about like you being able to go out and do stuff, or you could kind of have pretty good
No,
freedom?
they were kind of really disciplinarians as far as I never had a bike. I loved to have a bike. Never had a bike. And back then, you guys used to wear high tops, and you'd have a penknife in it.
Oh,
well, I got
yeah.
the high tops, but not the penknife. Or I got a BB gun, but I was allowed to have BBs.
Yeah.
And Uncle Tom, Mizo, would leave. They lived down on 11th Street where Halufkas lived, and my Uncle Tom would walk up and he'd put a nickel under a brick for me, and I would get that nickel and buy BBs.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah.
Did they ever find out that you had BBs?
Probably. So
Yeah.
I couldn't get away with anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't get away with anything. They knew,
Yeah.
just...
So they kept a pretty tight eye on you.
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything special, like if you wanted to get on their good side and be able to go somewhere or do something you didn't think they'd let you? What did you do to get on their good side?
When I was in high school, I would say, as a freshman and sophomore, I'd come home from high school at lunchtime, and I'd put a roast on, and I did that several days a week.
The food thing.
Yeah.
The Cunsolo food thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get into fights, like you and Aunt Nettie, or you and Grandma and Grandpa? Did you have like
never,
little squabbles?
No, never.
Did they have squabbles like between their brothers and sisters, or moms and dads and stuff in the family?
The Italians are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was singing at Sunny Hannah one time with a big band, and there were tons of people there. It was a big evening, and this lady comes up to the bandstand with a bunch of Italian guys that I knew, and she says, "I want to introduce myself. I'm your cousin Paulie Couture." And I said, "Are you the cousin I'm supposed to talk to, or I'm not supposed to talk to?" Because every couple of weeks it's, "Frenzy, don't talk to that goddamn so-and-so,"
So that was Grandpa Severino that would do that.
Yeah.
How about Grandma and Grandpa? Were they like that, or was more the great-grandparents?
They were cool.
Yeah, they were always really social.
Yeah, and the only time they spoke Italian is when they were having a more private conversation.
So did you get much time alone? Like, did you like to be alone when you were younger? Were you more introverted or were you more extroverted?
All depend the situation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have like a special place you go if you wanted to be by yourself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in our backyard we had the garage, and I had a boxing ring in the back. And,
Really?
yeah, I used to box, and I beat the hell out of guys my same age.
Is that in the Big Red House?
No,
No.
this was on Graham Avenue.
Oh,
The
down by the
Rockney
Rockney
building. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, that was my hangout back there.
Did you have any like rules or mottos or something that like family rules or mottos like
who I might have looked up to,
I don't know, like
respected, or what?
like do you have a motto? I don't know, like
What kind of a motto?
What's a motto? John always said our motto in our family was you could fix anything with love, for example. So I don't know, like any rules you guys live by, or any mottos, or like the Consolos, or like this. This is what we're like.
No, it was just great growing up with my parents. You know, had to go to church.
Mm-hmm. Did you always go on Sunday?
Oh,
did they have Saturday church then?
No, heavens no.
And did they have confession on Saturday?
Saturday they had
So you still had to be good Saturday night so you could still go to communion on Sunday?
Yeah.
And was church in Latin back then?
It was. I liked it.
Did you
really
understand
liked it in Latin? Did I understand it?
Yeah.
No, I read it across the other page.
Oh, so they had like the Latin and the English.
You should know
version.
that.
Yeah, I think they had that still when I was little.
You should know that.
So how was it when you were a teenager? Were you able to like get out and do more stuff, or were they still pretty strict?
Well, I loved to swim. We used to walk to Tuscaloosa.
Where's that?
That's, you know where the power plant is as you go up towards Pomeroy's? We would walk the tracks. We'd walk the tracks up to Tuscaloosa, which was, I forget how many miles, maybe 3 miles, maybe more.
What's back there?
There was a swimming pool, and it
Really?
was ice water. I mean, it was mountain water.
Oh, like a swimming hole?
No, it was
a
swimming
real pool.
And they had dressing rooms.
They
had one day is boys' day, one day is girls' day. They never had mixed swimming.
Really?
Yeah. And I got my first migraine.
Oh no! Really?
Time. They thought I was dying. I got so sick I was throwing up, and I had pounding headache. And they called. My dad come out, and they said they didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. It was my first migraine.
Wow.
So Dr. Broombaugh came across the street, and he gave me a pill to put under my tongue. And I think it was what they give a heart patient. What is that pill?
Oh, nitroglyceride?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it went away right away.
Wow.
I fell asleep. When I woke up, I felt great. But
so did you get very many migraines when you were young?
No. That one was really a bad one.
Wow.
And I had little asthmatic problem, but playing trumpet, that really helped. Just got rid of it.
What all did you like to do in high school?
Music.
Yeah.
And I'd always hang out with the football players.
But you didn't play?
I was in the chorus.
How come you didn't play football?
Too light. But I could kick a ball as far as our...
Were you really thin when you were young?
145, 150
that's
pounds.
pretty light for a football player.
But all my buddies played, and I'd go up in the field after band practice, and I'd throw and kick with a couple of my buddies that played.
Who was your first girlfriend in high school?
God.
Did you have a girlfriend in high school?
Of course. I had many.
All girls like musicians.
Oh, my first girlfriend, I think it was Myra Wright, the preacher's daughter. And I'd walk up to see her. And I mean, I had to have a sport coat, you know, and Mrs. Wright was head of the WCTU.
What's that?
Women's Christians Temperance.
Oh, jeez.
They didn't like anybody. And when I was up there one Sunday, she's the only one I knew would cook dinner and burn the roast, and then she'd shred it. And you can never, I ate with them one time, and you could never eat her beef roast because she'd burn it. And then she would shred it. It was horrible.
And all your family was such good cooks.
Oh my God, yeah. So one time, I went up and she says, "You smoke, don't you?" I says, "Smoke? No, I don't smoke." "Well, you got to drink then." And I said, "Mrs. Wright, I'm only 15.
I was going to say, how old were you?
Yeah, what the hell? Well, you look like the kind.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
So 15 was your first girlfriend?
I would say so. I mean, you know, I had visions as a young kid, you know. You see someone maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. So, wow, you know.
They didn't notice you, though. They were too old. Going out with the older boy.
Of course, of course.
So,
What else?
how old were you when you met Bubby?
20 maybe.
So did you date very many girls in high school or before you met her?
I would say more after, when I first started singing. You know, never got real serious over really anybody. But everyone I ever wanted, everyone I dated, they, you know, want to get married. You're out of your mind, you know.
How about Mom? Did she want to get married?
It's funny. She and Credine Davis wanted to go to Washington.
Her friend Credine.
They wanted to fly to Washington, get a job, secretarial job. And, I just opened up the Copa Club with the, I don't know if it was the Temptations or who I opened up with. By that I mean I started the show, did like 5 numbers, then introduced the...
And where was
Lenny
that?
Littman's Copa Club in
Atlantic,
Pittsburgh.
oh, Pittsburgh.
Lenny
Okay.
Littman, yeah,
Okay.
Copa Club in Pittsburgh. I come home and Louis Justo calls me and said they were doing this minstrel and wanted to know if I'd come down and sing for the minstrel. And I said, oh, Lou, you know, I just got back from Pittsburgh and I don't think so. He said, well, come down at least. So I rode down with him. I walk in, I see this 60-piece pit band, big band, good friends of mine. They said, you going to sing? And I said, no, I'm just here to listen. Well, they started rehearsing, and I thought, hell, I'd be proud to be in this. It was, I mean, it was good. It was real good. So Lou said, well, you know, why don't you do a couple numbers with the band? Well, I walk in there with, my mother just got me a new, beautiful, double-breasted, belted, I called it my gangster coat back, you know. And I just got contacts, and everything bothered me. My eyes were always, you know...
Bloodshot and sore.
Yeah. And I walk in there with dark glasses because it was winter.
The
I walk
glare.
in there with dark glasses, yeah. And after I sang, one of the girls said, who is that? And another girl said, these are all the dancers. Okay? Bo was one of the dancers. And that's Louis' cousin. He's a professional singer. And this girl went, professional. And I turned around, and it was Barb.
That's so Bubby.
Yeah.
So what'd you like about Mom when you met her? What made you want to go out with her?
Personality.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked her personality.
What about it did you like?
She smiled with her eyes, and she had just a beautiful smile.
Did Aunt Nettie like her when
she
she met her?
loved her, of course.
Yeah, they seem like they always got along good. So what'd you guys do, like, when you first started going out? What'd you do for fun?
I took her up to Forest Park Club, our first date. And I used to play there. And on Saturday nights, we'd get a steak with fries for $1 and, I mean, a great steak for $1.19. So we played there, the band, and we probably made $20 for the week. And I took Mom up, and I spent some of my money. And the entertainers were so good, and I wanted her to meet and listen to their show.
Were these people you played with, or these were other entertainers?
These are people that come in and did a floor show.
Oh, okay.
Well, the wife, there was a big champagne glass on the stage. I mean, a big champagne glass. And she used to sing Pink Champagne. And she had a bathing suit on. She'd be pouring champagne on her, you know. And it was cool. It was really classy. So I told Barb after church, I said, come on, bring her up. I'm going to introduce you to some people. We're going to have a nice steak dinner. Well, we ordered the special. So out comes a cup of soup. And I thought, oh, nice. A salad. Out came the steak, which was larger, and fries, and we had coffee, and I bought the fellow and his wife a drink. So when the bill came, and dessert came, and I thought, boy, Ham Murray's really treating me good. He really, yeah, he likes me.
Uh-huh.
Well, what happened, you don't get those specials on Sunday. Our bill came to like $18
Oh,
total.
no. Wow.
I had to borrow money from Mom.
Oh.
She had like $4. Yeah, that was our first date.
Oh, that's so funny. So what did she think about that?
She thought it was cool.
She was good-spirited about it?
Oh, yeah. Because if people were really recognizing me then, because of my singing,
Right.
you know, everybody was coming over. And yeah,
So you were a
she liked it,
celebrity
yeah.
even then.
That's funny.
So what else did you guys do for fun when you were dating? Besides,
Movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to movies. Take nice rides and talk.
Did you both live with your parents?
Yeah, she
Then?
lived with her at home, yeah.
What was your favorite part about being married?
Oh, so many things. Just being comfortable. It takes time, you know. And the funny thing, when Barb got pregnant, it was just so weird because I was playing with Jack Spiker's band, and we were at the band hall one night, and this is before we got married, you know, and he hands me this paper, and he said, "This is a rhythm chart." And I said, "Jack, I'll play anything you want, you know." What the hell? I don't have to, you know. And I put it in my case. We played the next week. He said, "You'd look at that." And I said, "Jack, I told you I'll play any rhythm, you know, just name it. You know, cha-cha, rumba, you know, jazz, you want." And he's going, "Frankie, you don't understand. You're Catholic. She's Catholic.
You're getting married.
And, you know." And I went, oh. Well, after we were married about 3 months, Barb gets up in the morning and she'd throw up. She'd get dressed and dry. She'd hop a bus, go to work, and come back and fall asleep at the table. And I'm thinking, well, I got to call her parents, see what the hell's going on, because there's something wrong. So I saw the doctor, and I said, you know, engagements are so phony. I said, this peppy girl I married, she was a cheerleader and a dancer. She's full of pep. Now she gets up, she throws up, she hops the bus, goes to work, come home, and she sleeps at the table, the dinner table. I said, I think she's anemic. He says, anemic your ass, she's pregnant. I says, I got a chart.
I guess the chart wasn't very good. So what's your favorite part about being married? You said, oh, there's so many things.
Well, you know, first of all, you know, being single, as I was for years, and you know, I've dated, but when I brought Mom home to meet my parents, it was my mother's birthday, so my grandparents were there.
Oh,
the Saverinos were there. And when I brought her in, Grandpa Savarino, son to Barbara. He just loved Barbara. So I took her home, and well, of course, we had dessert and cake and that. And I took Barb home, and I went home and I went to bed, and that's the first time my mother ever come in and tapped me on the shoulder and says, "That's the kind of girl you should go with.
Oh.
Not those filths you bring home from Atlantic City."
Did you ever bring girls home from Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Oh, serious?
When I was singing there, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a girl who's danced at the 500 Club. She was, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Grandma didn't like her, though.
Oh, that filth's not staying in my house. Where's she going to sleep, you know? My dad's going, boy, she's quite beautiful. I said, well, yeah, she dances at the 500 Club.
So do you think, like, having your parents' approval of who you married was really important to you?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a way to start out a marriage.
So
Everyone liked her.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Bubby.
Everybody liked her, yeah.
So what was your favorite part about being married? You still didn't tell me that.
Well, I think knowing that you have somebody that you think alike, okay, good communications. But that's just like when she came in at the store after my dad got real sick. It's, you know, respect. I mean, you know, what the hell? Everybody is never peaches and cream. You know, you have your disagreements, and But we never had a lot of disagreements.
I don't hardly ever remember you guys fighting.
Uh-uh.
Very, very rarely.
Never had a lot of disagreements.
So if you did, what would you disagree about? What kind of stuff?
I don't know. I bought her a dress when we first got married at my Aunt Joe's. And I said, what would you recommend? And my Aunt Jo picked this dress out. She says, I think she'd love this. Well, I brought it home, and she says, I'm not that fat. Or like that. And I said, Aunt Jo picked it out.
Yeah, I don't think guys should ever buy women clothes.
Yeah, well, I learned quick. And
So
you have disagreements with children.
Oh yeah, I think that's
as
probably the other
growing
thing.
up, oh good Lord.
Or she was more permissive than you were. She'd
In what
always
respect?
well, like she would be more willing to let us go and do and try new things,
Oh, yeah.
and you were much
Me,
more.
forget it.
Yeah, you didn't want us going anywhere.
You remember that? Remember when we moved down to the our first house, and we were having dinner, and there was like a knock on the door, and I got up and I looked. I didn't see anything, and we had that storm door with the glass above the frame.
Yeah.
And another knock on the door, and I looked out, and there's a kid standing there. And
He's
I opened
really
the door.
short.
I opened the door. I says, "Yes." He said, "Can I take Lori down to the malt shop?" Do you remember this?
No, I have no idea.
And I
what
said,
you're
"The
talking
malt shop."
about. There is no malt shop.
I said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Were you a doctor or something, or an attorney, or a teacher?" No, I'm just, And I said, "Well, you come back when you're older." And I shut the door.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I was a tyrant
Oh.
when you kids were starting to date.
Oh yeah, you were.
Lord.
You never thought anybody was good enough for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember. Lots of us disagreeing. His mom like, don't talk to your dad about it. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Is there anything about being married that you were disappointed? Like things you expected to be a certain way and they weren't?
I don't think it's with being married. I think my career as a vocalist, I could have done really big things, big things.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunities because when I was in Atlantic City and met the syndicate, they wanted to put a lot of money in me. And they guaranteed me a top record in a year.
But then they want you to go to Vegas too.
Oh yeah, that really stunned it.
Yeah.
I said, Vegas? Can we take a train?
I'm not getting on an airplane.
I told them that.
Yeah, I remember.
But they treated me like my grandfather Savarino on a Sunday after Mass. Nice dinner, and they were sitting around drinking wine, and yeah, that was my first experience. And sometimes when things got slow in the furniture business, and like I'd be out singing, and someone would say, "Oh my God, you are wasting your time. You should be big time." And those are the times I say, "Wow." Even now, it's so funny.
Oh yeah.
I still have this longevity, and like singing Saturday night for that Big Red Cross thing. All these younger people that are with the banks and the defense contractors that are all sponsors, and hospitals, and all these younger people, they know me, and but they didn't know I sang. When I got up and I sang, people were coming up going, and this is silly. Oh, you're better than Sinatra ever was, or
you're way better than Sinatra.
Yeah.
But see, you can still do it though.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff you could do.
It was, like I say, I had the best of both worlds.
You did get to perform quite a lot.
I did. We were at the opera gala, and I walked up to this. I went up to see Mark Pasquarella and the opera singers, and I'm talking to them, telling them how much I enjoyed their voices, and they're so young. And I walked up to this blonde lady, and I said, "You were sensational. And, you were just sensational." And she said, "Mr. Cunsolo," she says, "you played my wedding reception." And I said, "Well, wait a while, you're not the singer?" She says, "No, I'm the congressman's wife." Or a new congressman.
But she looked like the singer?
Well, I thought she did.
Oh, how funny.
And then the congressman comes over and he said, "Don't you remember playing my wedding, or our wedding at the Casa Romani.
Uh-huh.
Then I did. And then Marty Radovanec from Channel 6, he said, I'm going to call you the wedding singer because everyone in this room seems to think that you played your wedding. And I said, you know what, Marty? I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what else?
So if you could do anything now with your singing, what would you like to do now with your singing? If you could do anything you wanted.
I think I'd like to work in a nice casual lounge in New York.
Uh-huh.
The guy that used to do Sinatra passed away suddenly, and he used to work the top of the is it the trump or the top of the something?
Oh.
And I'd like to do that.
That'd be cool. Just sing in a lounge a couple nights a week. A nice, classy,
Oh, yeah,
well-known
really classy.
lounge.
It's really phenomenal. Yeah.
So what did you have to do that?
I don't know. You know, the funny thing, they're looking for the voice of Affleck now because they fired the voice that I can't stand, a comedian. And he made some racial remark about, I don't know if it was Jews or whatever.
Oh,
they
really?
just fired him. So now they're looking for the voice of Affleck.
So you go try out?
Affleck! Yeah. Anyways.
That's awesome.